Welcome into the Ringiverse. This is, of course, the Ringer's next podcast feed for all things fandom. We are Steve, the architect Ahlman, the builder and tinker of things. New nickname for Steve. Biracial Stevie.
I don't know if I go that far.
You're gonna
Light skin Larry.
Light skin Larry.
Oh, wow. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, like you guys are gonna have to stick around for the post credits to figure out why we're calling him that. But Biracial Steve Ahlman is joining us. Jomi explained to the row. You've got questions, he's got answers. Old Man Van, he of the Resurgent Hairline, Coke Baby Chuck, the 24-karat closer, aka the Brunch Hottie. Together, we are known as the Midnight Boys. Follow us on socials, Insta, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. Save Jomi Shop. It's been saved. Jomi?
I wouldn't say that yet.
Yeah.
You know, we got some fun stuff coming. And if you're listening to this or watching this on Wednesday, that means if you go to the Instagram or the Twitter, you'll see that we posted, it's Van's birthday!
Oh, daddy.
Happy birthday, Van!
45 years young.
45. Look, can I get a soundboard?
Oh.
Joe Budden got a soundboard.
Okay.
We're never giving you a soundboard.
I'm not giving you the gun soundboard.
No.
No.
bro.
And then
Yeah, but then you would just be like a 1990s radio guy, just hitting, or Funk Flex. You just
Oh, hell no.
flex
Funk
bomb.
Flex.
We're on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, share. You can watch every Midnight Boys and House of Art episode
We're
on
paying
youtube.com/@Ringiverse and also on Spotify. Tomorrow, Butt Mash breaks down. Shut up! Tomorrow, Butt Mash breaks down The Last of Us. Friday, the Midnight Boys react to Sinners. People were wondering if we were going to do this. Chuck, why are we doing it?
I mean, damn, they don't make that many black movies. We got to support Ryan Coogler, MBJ, part of the family. We excited.
I don't want to burn pod, but original script, visionary black director, all black cast set in the Black American South. If this movie is financially successful at the box office in the way that it looks to be, it's a major, major, major accomplishment.
Wait, but I'm reading some stuff. There's some worries because I'm seeing a lot of like the prognosticators being like, we don't know how much it's going to make. I have faith. I feel like Black America about to show out.
We'll see. Just remember, the movie doesn't have an overwhelming budget. It's $90 million, which is a lot of money, but not a shit ton of money as compared to today's blockbusters.
It's not Marvel money.
It's not Marvel money. But it is a rated R horror movie.
Okay.
So anyone that might be expecting Sinners to make $700 or $800 million, maybe that's not the level of success that you should be expecting.
Yeah.
But in the R-rated horror market, I think this is going to do very well.
I think it's going to be massive, like gigantic, particularly because the reviews are driving it to be so.
I think it's still 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. So even more
100 or
critics.
90 or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm getting. What do they say? I'm taking an over on this. How much you think it's going to make first?
First week. Okay, so we got wide release. We also have the IMAX considerations.
Yeah.
75?
75 is a massive win. A massive win.
I think you could do 75.
It's targeting 45.
See, you know what I'm saying?
It's targeting 45.
So 45 and a half is the line.
Oh, then
I was saying
45.
I was saying like 60, 65.
All right, 60, 70.
If it makes 75, if Sinners makes, and we won't know this until Saturday, we can talk more about this on the podcast. If Sinners makes 75, Coogler at that point, you'd have a strong argument that he's the number one guy in the game. Now, obviously, you have, probably not. But what I mean to say number one guy in the game is the beginning to his career track record.
Oh, yeah, no, this is like the ascent into like a household name. Like he could be the next Nolan, he could be the next.
No, because if you compare the Nolan or Denis or any of those guys, obviously they have more meat in the fridge.
Sure.
But I mean, the trajectory right there would be nuts because 75 means that it's going to be a massive, massive hit.
So, I mean, but even 65.
Yeah.
It's just like, I think it's going to do very, very well. I don't think Coogler is one of my favorite directors because he hasn't had a bad movie. Like, you know how hard it is as a new director to not have a bad movie yet? All of his movies have been good.
Yeah.
Fruitvale, Creed, both Black Panthers, like, and that's also shit.
And this is him. This is his shit.
He's stepping out, yeah.
When we were at the screening, they talked about exactly how much original creativity went into every single aspect of shooting the movie, from the way that the movie is shot, the cameras that it's shot on, to the relationship between Michael B. Jordan's lead character, Smoke and Stack, to the music in the film. Every single part of it is artistic expression.
He had that 10-minute video about like where to go see it, like the
By the way,
Super 8 versus the 16 millimeter, the whole thing.
That video, in and of itself, to me, is an indicator of what the box office turnout is going to be for the movie. That video has like 20 million views.
Yeah.
It's 10 minutes long.
It made me go like, I gotta go see it in 70 millimeter.
Yeah.
But also, I love that video because I'm like, there's not that many, I feel like, young directors who have the type of cachet that Coogler, who could like break it down to you in such a layman's terms, make you feel like you're a part of the process. Like, he's not just selling his movie. He's just like, oh, this is like why you should go see a bunch of movies in these formats. I was like, I want this to win so bad.
I want it to win too. Okay. But on today's show, we give you our instant reactions to the season finale of Daredevil Born Again. Now, we're going to spoil stuff, MCU stuff, past Netflix stuff, comic stuff, spoiler for Daredevil, everything that you could think of. Steve, run a spoiler warning. We're getting ready to talk about
Daredevil Born Again.
You're listening to a reaction podcast. The spoilers are coming. Before we talk about the episode, we got to put you in the know, refresh your memory. The only person who can do that is Chuck Wagon. The only way to do that is the Midnight Manifest. Chuck.
All right, this is your Midnight Manifest for the season finale of Daredevil Born Again, Straight to Hell, directed by Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead, written by Heather Belson and Dario Scartapane. Matt wakes up from getting shot and is like, damn, where's Karen? Heather gets pissed and is like, shit, I'm leaving to take a job with Mayor Fisk. Then Kingpin is like, fuck it, let me finish the job that Bullseye couldn't. Sends Buck to murder a bedridden Matt in the hospital. Matt is then ambushed by the Vigilante task force at his apartment, but is saved by Punisher and Karen. Then Matt proceeds to break down how the hit on Foggy was orchestrated by Vanessa because the lawyer was about to reveal that the Fisk criminal empire is ran through the Red Hook Freeports. Shout out Tenet, which allows them to skirt customs and most laws. Kingpin also kills the commissioner and declares martial law after purposefully placing Manhattan in a blackout. Punisher ends up getting captured at the Freeport after going berserk on the task force, and Daredevil decides he needs an army and teams up with Cherry, Karen, and Kirsten to stop the mayor. And that has been your Midnight Manifest for the season finale of Daredevil Born Again. Then, my question is so simple. Did Daredevil Born Again Season 1 land the plane? Did this finale land the plane?
To me, it did. And let's talk about why. To me, it did. Let's talk about why. Why? Okay.
I don't even believe you.
Yeah, it did. It did for me. It did. It seriously did. It seriously did. Let's talk about why. Okay.
You don't sound convinced.
Oh, yeah, you don't.
No, I don't know. I'm supposed to. I don't know. To me, it did. And let's dig into the episode a little bit. So we get the end, at least for this season, of Matt's arc and Kingpin's arc.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts on how we tied the bow around Matt Murdock / Daredevil's character in this iteration of the show? At the end, he seems fully formed back into his old superhero self. Certain things that were, I guess, splinters in his mind have now sort of been reconciled as far as his relationship with himself as Daredevil. Notions that he has about Foggy's death reconciled. Karen and what's missing from his life being Karen Page reconciled. When he wakes up in one of the coldest scenes in the motherfucking show, Heather's right there. And rather than say Heather, he says Karen, which was the thing that pushed Heather over the edge.
Can't do it. You can't do
also,
that.
it's so cold walking out on your boyfriend who just got shot. She heard Karen was like, all right, I can't.
They both left. Her and our lawyer homegirl, they
McDuffie?
both got the fuck out of there. They like, Matt, you too much of a fuck nigga for us to stay around.
And I say that's one of my biggest fears. Sometimes I talk in my sleep, I'm like, please don't let me say that.
Hold on, Rich, just real quick.
Charles.
Just 5 seconds. We're going to get right back to the show.
Jesus Christ, bro.
I know a dude, I'm not even going to mention him. I know a dude in Louisiana, he got hit up. I mean, he got shot, right? This is like 16. He got shot, right? He got shot not necessarily on purpose, but doing some shit he wasn't supposed to do. I happened to be at home at this time. No, I wasn't at home. I was in LA. And I get a call from a number I don't know. And he goes, hey, do me a favor, what? Call so-and-so and tell him to go get my phone. Because he was in the hospital. I'm like, what? He was like, hey, call the homie and tell him go get my phone. And I'm like, bro, are you okay? He's like, I'ma live. Go get my phone.
That is not good.
Before she gets to my phone. He's like, go get my phone. I'm like, bro, nobody cares. Bro, she about to start calling people in the phone to tell them that I'm all right or whatever. I don't need her to do that. I'm like, nigga, you need to clean your life up.
Yeah.
Okay? You need to clean
That's
your
the
life
first thing he's thinking of.
You're in the hospital and you're like, don't let my girl get my phone.
He's like, go get my phone. But Matt had one of the moments when he woke up anyway. Back to the show. Okay. So your thoughts on Murdoch in the episode? Like you're like, to me, I thought reconnecting him with Punisher, reconnecting with Karen, it seems like they attempted to reconnect Murdoch / Daredevil to the version of him that we had known and to the version of him that's going to have to get like super, super aggressive and gully about fighting Kingpin moving forward.
So I just felt that so much of the character progression in this episode seemed rushed. And like Matt was just kind of going about things in a way where I'm like, oh, for plot reasons, you need him to be here. You need him to be teaming up with X, Y, and Z. But like, perfect example, he hears Buck coming. And I'm just like, oh, that's a classic thing. I hear a killer coming. I'm going to escape. Then I'm like, oh, but he shows back up at his apartment that Buck and Kingpin knows that he lives at. He just saved Kingpin's life. So you know he's already like, I can't kill anymore. I can't kill anymore. The minute Punisher is there, Punisher's killing everybody out the wazoo. And I'm just like, we know how Matt is feeling about death and killing and being judge, jury, and executioner. And there was just a moment where I'm like, we're not going to like clean any of this up. We're not going to have like a conversation. He's just going to kind of like yell at Punisher once. And then like they just keep moving. Like, I got it. Like, I think the tension between Daredevil and Punisher and what it means to be a vigilante and how far you should take it is interesting. All that is super interesting in a bubble. But because Punisher's only been in this twice this season, I felt like that got muddled and it got rushed. And I was like, wait, we're not going to... Same thing, like, we don't really get a conversation between Matt and Heather or Matt and Kirsten or anybody. They just... When he's like, I need an army... I was like, oh shit, we getting the Defenders. Luke Cage about to be in this bitch. Jessica Jones about to pop through. And then when it's just a bunch of people that he hasn't had any real discussions with in the season finale, I was like, oh, that just seems strange. Even the Karen stuff I felt like was really, really
Thinking
really
the Defenders are gonna show up, that's clown makeup, because that was never gonna happen.
Well, he said it.
You said it like he was calling in somebody.
When he said the army, I was like, well, who can the army be, bro?
Nah, you're not gonna pay all those dudes to show up for like one scene at the end, man. People were like calling for Spider-Man
Maybe you do.
online too. No, you don't, man. You gotta
There
do
was a time where I felt Spider-Man was going to swing in.
I didn't think that, but I thought maybe Jessica might have shown up.
I thought they could get... Here's the thing. Kirsten ain't no army. Cherry ain't no army.
I don't disagree with you, but that's why you have getting the team back together. You know, the first part of the heist in season 2. I mean, like, hey, yo, we got to go to Harlem and go get Luke Cage. We got to go to wherever Iron Fist be at. We got to go get Jessica Jones. I think that's something you say for season 2.
The only shooter you had, like a dumbass, goes to the fucking Freeports by himself. I thought that was another thing. I thought, hey, not my Punisher. I'm like, hey, yo, Punisher, he's going to come war ready. He's going to be like packing whatever. He's going to get the task force out of there. He's like, pop, pop, shh, and they all gang up on him. And I'm like, was Frank always this dumb? Like, I remember him being more strategic, you know.
Like he would have sniped those guys from far away.
Been a last minute thing.
Yeah, like why was he running up on them with a knife and like a handgun? I was a little kid.
I mean, they did shoot him 3 times in the back with the shotgun, and he survived that. So, I mean, like, ultimately, it's kind of, you got to pick your poison.
I mean, even Matt, Matt got shot, not even 24 hours ago? And he's dispatching of the task force like it's nothing.
Yeah, he was in a hospital bed.
He was hurt though. To talk about the Punisher and Daredevil relationship, I think it works in this episode. The funniest part of the episode to me, like it's not funny, but it was super funny to me. They have their back and forth as they usually do, right? And they find out who killed Hector Ayala. And Daredevil's like giving him the once over, then he stops. And then Punisher's like, bet, I'm gonna kill this dude. It's like, nah, that's not what I want. Oh, you can't do it. And the Punisher's like, oh, for reals? Really? What about that guy? Bow!
That's hilarious.
That's so great.
That's hilarious.
No, it's hilarious, but I'm also like, Matt, I'm like, at this point, he done already killed everybody else.
What are
you doing?
So I don't want to spend the whole episode defending story points that the writers of the show did, but I will say this about the Punisher specifically, right? That's kind of the tension with the Punisher. Mm-hmm. I go back to the to Civil War when they're getting all the heroes together, and they invite Punisher. Okay, they invite Punisher because they need every hand that they can get. So Cap and his group of New Avengers, or no, what are they called? The Secret Avengers.
Secret Avengers.
Cap and his group of Secret Avengers are up against it, and so they need everybody that they can get.
Yep.
So they invite Punisher.
Gotta call Draymond when you need him, man.
You gotta call Draymond when that's Punisher. Punisher is the Draymond of the MCU. That's who he is. So they call him, right? They call Punisher. Punisher walks in, and he sees that there's some villains in there too that they've also called.
Yeah.
And because they need everybody that they can get, right? Now they're okay with the villains being in there. Cap and them have made, he just starts letting loose. Bum, 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 bum. And then when they look at him, he's like, oh yeah. That's just who he is. Yeah. And so then Cap has to beat the shit
out of
Frank Castle. And Frank Castle doesn't even fight him back because he's glazing Cap hard. So he doesn't even fight back. So this is kind of the tension with Punisher. Remember, it wasn't Daredevil who called Punisher there. It was Karen.
No.
When he gets there, they work. You kind of know who's there. It's like Devil in the Blue Dress. What did Mouse say to Easy? Easy, if you didn't want the guy killed, then why did you leave him with me? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So here's the thing that I just don't understand. Uh-huh. All right, so Karen calls Punisher and is just like, hey, yo, I need you to protect Matt. Karen's already been tripping because Matt went too far with Bullseye and all that bullshit. So I'm just like, you already know Matt is going to the dark side. And you're like, you know what he needs right now? Fucking Punisher.
Who else can you call though?
It's either that or die.
Yeah. I mean, she's like you want
Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, Peter Parker.
I mean, it's like it seems like it's kind of the bare minimum just to be like, okay, the relationship they have in this series is like not forced, but it's definitely rushed. And it's not that like it's the only person.
Say, just real quick, not to cut you off, but I'm gonna do it. How can we say that the relationship that Matt and Daredevil have is
no, not Daredevil. Frank.
Oh no, excuse me, Frank. And how can we say that relationship is rushed when we have legitimately like 2 seasons?
Well, no, because here's the thing. In this season, though, we got 1 episode of basically Daredevil and him talking for 10 minutes about the task force, and Frank fucks off. We don't see him at all. Mm-hmm. And now when he pops up, it is just like, not only am I going to protect you, Matt, which I get because Karen called, it's like, now I'm not even going to wait for Daredevil or anybody else. I'm going to the Freeport to kill all these motherfuckers. And I'm like, emotionally, how did you go from not giving a flying fuck to Matt being like, hey, no, Karen is basically like, I actually know you care. And being like, yup, I do now.
It's almost like when a girl got him activated. You remember, he looked like garbage last time we saw him.
Got him activated.
Bro showed up.
Tell him to shave.
He went to the crib. He got the haircut. He shaved. He knew his girlie was coming through.
And you want to know what? I want him to ball out. If you want to like put some numbers on the board, you got to be a little bit more strategic about it. You just can't be showing up at the Freeport. I don't disagree,
but at the same time, when is he gonna stop being a cuck? By the way,
who?
Frank. That was nasty work. At
This
the
was Challenger
underground.
shit this episode.
Now, well, he goes down there. He's like, "You want some coffee?" She's like, "I'm good. Actually, me and old boy we finna dip out of here. But you take care of yourself. I mean, I appreciate you what you did for me. I appreciate you saving my boy's life. But we gotta head
but
out."
Daredevil heard. He smelled the pheromones. That's why he was like,
well, he heard the heartbeats too.
yeah, the heartbeat. He was like, hey, I saw you getting excited, and which is also lame on Matt's part.
Which, by the way, that is why she called him. She called him because she needed somebody that she knew was going to go down there. And she knows that he's sweet on her. So she called, not Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones might have been like, fuck you, lady. I don't even like that guy.
The spot on version.
Luke Cage might have been distracted by Karen.
All right.
Girl, what you like you, girl?
Man.
Shout out Mike. Like, girl, you want me to go down there? What you gonna do for Luke Cage?
No, boo.
Iron Fist. He fucks every woman that he says hello to. Just like Matt. Iron Fist is probably somewhere working on his martial arts.
Sure, you can hope so. He's
he wasn't going to go down there. That was going straight to voicemail. So she needed to be able to depend on the person. That's Karen using a little bit of her savvy, flipping a switch that she knows the light will come on.
But it's just kind of by those metrics, it means like, okay, well, then anybody else that might have had a 10-minute scene scattered throughout this season with Matt would have also been on that.
Could have called Swordsman.
Could have called Swordsman.
I have a same issue when they reveal that it's the Black Task Force member who killed Hector Ayala. Like, it's staged and it's presented like this is supposed to be like this big emotional moment. Like, oh my gosh, Matt finally found the killer. But I was like, most of the season wasn't even really about that. So it was like, it kind of fell flat for me when like Matt is getting like super angry about it. Cause I'm like, no. Like, we had a bunch of shit in the middle of the season where it was like, that might as well have not happened.
I am really surprised that you guys didn't like this.
I liked it.
It's not that I'll speak for myself. It's not that I didn't like it. I just feel like, okay, all of the things that kind of, in the jumbled middle of this season, we kind of cherry pick the great, like, kind of like tiny moments, and then we have to make them way more important for this finale.
Yeah.
That weren't exactly like built up or to be led to. It's more of like, hey, remember this guy from here? He was important. Remember that we've got to, like, you know, bring this home and like finish up this storyline or like make this matter. Knowing that Frank has to come back because we've just seen him briefly for the rest of the season. Obviously that it's reinforced by the fact that he's kind of the one person that can talk to Matt like this. I'm not going to believe it when we call an army and then it's just Cherry and all of his buddies.
This is what I
like the city without fear. I like the like idea that he can like rally behind the idea of the people that are closest to him. And that's ultimately why I think that this was a successful finale.
Right. So this is what I'll say. There are things about the finale that worked. So beyond the things that we feel like emotionally didn't make sense in terms of, there's some superhero stuff that's going to be in anything. We talked about it. You know, Matt fight with one arm. Him being shot ends up not really mattering that much.
Yes.
In the episode. Like, it doesn't, I thought that maybe that would put some doubt in Kingpin's mind as far as what he wanted to do with Matt, but he didn't. Kingpin just goes, yeah, go kill him.
Do you think that was like a weird character choice? Because I too thought that like I always knew Kingpin is going to support Vanessa. Like that's his ride or die. But there was a moment where I was like, oh, I thought we would have one more beat before he's like, hey, yo, Buck, go kill him. Because I'm just like, there is some type of honor between Kingpin and Matt, even if it's fucked up. There is a realization of like, you're a worthy adversary. And it almost felt a little odd.
I think that they did that to destroy that notion.
Yeah.
Okay.
You think so?
Yeah, because I don't think that there's any honor between them. I think that there was a shared secret. And the shared secret and the shared trauma ends up not being exactly what we think it is, right?
Yeah.
So I think the shooting of Matt as he's saving Kingpin, if there was that thing that you said that there is, it would have deepened their relationship, but it didn't. Kingpin is set on the same path that he's always been set on, and it's never going to change. And Matt is set on the same path that he's always been set on, and it's never going to change. And those two paths run right into each other. And it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter who the other players are. It could be Vanessa, it could be Frank, it could be anyone. Their paths go through one another. And that is something that neither one of them can control.
What does he say? He says, rather have him die a hero, or have a
dead hero
than a living
vigilante.
vigilante. Like, it just, the vigilante stuff just crushes everything that he holds dear. Even if he had that honor, even if he had that level of, oh, he saved my life, I'm going to protect him. It's like, nah, he's still a vigilante.
Oh, I never thought he was going to protect Matt. I just thought that there would be more of a couple scenes, or just like a notion of like, oh, this man saved my life. Why did he save my life?
Yeah.
Why, instead of it just being like,
There's
gotta kill him.
I kind of wanted like a tiny bit of like introspection, and maybe even like if I really wanted it, like something akin to that diner scene in the first episode where they like they find a way to bring those two together again and talk about where they're at and where they have to like kind of draw a line in the sand and like actually start like fighting as who they actually are.
I was actually missing, to your point, that's a great point. I was missing maybe
Them
like
coming
a
back
Matt
together
or a
and talking.
Kingpin or something where I was like, that would have felt more like a season finale, where this almost felt like, by the end of this, I was like, oh, this feels like the middle of a season.
Well, it is.
Well, yeah, we know that.
Well, no. But it is. Like, so it's a season finale. God damn, I'm doing a lot of work for the show. It's a season, but I really enjoyed it. It's a season finale, like in name only. The show will be back in a couple of months.
Right, yeah.
It's a mid-season finale, right? Like,
But they didn't market it that way. They marketed it more as
hold on. Let's go back to the tape.
Mm-hmm.
The original thing was supposed to be 18 episodes or even 22 episodes, right?
Right.
So this is a mid-season finale in all its forms. This is a mid-season finale. Like, when we've gotten, by the way, just to let you guys know, I fucking hate the mid-season finale.
It sucks.
I've never enjoyed it,
I don't
right?
like it.
I've never enjoyed it.
When they used to like end of December and be like, all right, we'll see y'all in 6 weeks.
We'll see,
I hated that
we're
shit.
coming. I hate the mid-season finale, but this is really it's a mid-season finale. And to me, it works. The reason why it works as such is because the characters are formed for the adventure ahead.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Danny?
Oh, Daniel Blake?
I'm talking about the deputy mayor, Michael Imperial.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
Daniel Blake, right? That's his name?
Daniel? Is it Daniel?
Yeah,
I believe
Daniel
so.
Blake.
Okay, Daniel. His character is now fully formed, right? Kingpin's character is now fully formed. Daredevil's character is now fully formed. The characters that we had questions about earlier on, what they were going to be, these characters are now ready for story.
Right.
They're ignited. Heather, in a way, is fully formed, right? There's ambiguity there, but she's fully formed. Everybody had to make choices in this episode that deepened their commitment to what it is that they have to do. And I think that's the reason why I look at it as a successful series, mid-season finale, season finale, whatever, is because as we were asking questions about like who these characters were and why they were doing the things that they were doing, I feel like in this episode and in the last particularly 3 episodes, we've kind of gotten answers to those.
I mean, I guess there was just a lot of, hey, Benson and Moorhead, the guys who directed Moon Knight, are coming back. We refilmed the beginning and the end, and there was a lot of just like, we got this back on track. And I guess for this mid-season, season finale, whatever you want to call it, I was looking for, like, can this make me excited? Like, I was looking forward to the Daredevil and Punisher fight. And to me, I was like a little lacking. Like, it wasn't bad, but there was almost a level of them just like, oh, this is supposed to be the set piece that is really going to be like, I trust your vision for what's coming next. And instead, I was like, oh, this still just feels very, very small and very contained. And like I said, not bad. It's just like, instead of it being like a 10-10, it was just like, all right, that was like,
I wouldn't disagree, but I don't think that was supposed to be it. I don't think that was supposed to be the moment. I think the moment we're supposed to be like, oh, this is their vision for the show. This is what they want to do, is when Kingpin turns Gallows' head into a watermelon.
Yeah.
Like, that scene for me was like, because obviously, like, we know Gallows not really messing with Kingpin's plans. And he tries to snitch to fake Felicia Rashad.
Right.
And she doubles back
Oh, that's
and snitches on him.
fucking disrespectful.
What's up?
Oh my God.
Double cross there.
actress has so much time in the game.
That's not.
And to call her fake Felicia Rashad is so
Daddy's actually
fucking
really
So
bad.
crazy.
time out. That's not the actress. It's the character.
Okay.
No, I don't
That's
know. You cleaning it
nuts,
up.
bro.
You
It's the
cleaning it up.
character.
That's fucking.
Wait,
the
bring
character.
up her IMDb.
Because
She's been
it's
around.
that's not the actress. It's the
Fake Felicia
character.
Rashad is nuts.
That's nuts.
It's
bro.
the character. I don't like the Sheila sucks.
Oh my god.
It's not the actress. I'm not being mad at the actress. I'm being mad at the character.
Nah,
Why
we
she
gotta-
sni-
what's her-
Commissioner
what's-
Gallo was
what's
my
her name?
guy.
Commissioner
And she snitched on him.
No.
It's not Gina Torres.
Not Gina Torres.
All right, we digging our
The one who plays Sheila?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sabrina Guevara.
So Brenda Rivera. I thought it was Gina Torres.
No, it's not Gina
All
Torres.
right, what's that? There you get.
What? I knew that.
I got
I have
confused.
no disrespect for
apologize.
the actress. It's the character because Sheila sucked the whole season.
Yeah.
She was dicking Daniel Blake around when we still liked him, and now she did my homie Gallo dirty. Sent him to the gulag.
But once again, the episode in itself is about them making choices.
Exactly.
And
Mhm.
she chose up. Everyone that we thought in the mayor's orbit that might possibly stand in Kingpin's way chose to be a part of his
They
army.
all bent the knee.
Yes.
Everybody bent the knee, right? Daniel Blake goes to the council. He's like, "Hey, I seen that Cayman Islands account. That's kind of crazy, man. I don't know. All of y'all got secrets. They all got to get back the safer initiative thing. I think the Gallo part of it is the moment where they were trying to be like, this is a different show, or not. We're doing something different, right? Remember the violence on Netflix,
Right.
Coming to Disney Plus. Even on Game of Thrones, when Pedro Pascal, spoilers for Game of Thrones if you haven't seen it in 1,000 years, when the mountains got Pedro Pascal's head, they cut before we see the thing explode.
Squeezy, squeezy.
Not this time. He's got the head and he like turns it, and even I was like, "Yo!" Like watching
Yes,
on my
it's-
couch, I was like,
Well,
"That's a
yeah,
little-
I guess,
it's a
but
little
that is
gruesome."
I guess that's actually my issue where it's like, I think if you were in a boardroom and you were panicking because you got the dailies back from the first version of Daredevil Born Again, you're like, it's not the breezy MCU quippy shit ain't hitting. I think in a boardroom, you're like, well, what did people like about the Netflix show? You're like, well, the violence. And I'm just like, no. The violence was backing up the story choices. The violence was backing up the atmosphere and the
Right.
world that they put you in. Because when you read a Daredevil comic, when you read those Frank Miller comics or Brubaker or Bendis, what they're so great at doing is putting you in this Norrish world. And I think I get what you're saying because I'm just like, hey, I was excited. I'm just like, hey, Punisher and Daredevil and Kingpin can finally start doing what we know they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But like some of the violence still felt very cartoony because there wasn't a foundation of like drama and intrigue to it that supported it.
Not to be entirely reductive to both this or House of the Dragon, but do you remember when we were like at the end of the first season of House of the Dragon, basically the sentiment was like, okay, now the war really begins. And at the end of season 2 of House of the Dragon, it's like, okay, now the war really begins. I kind of feel like that's kind of where we're at the end of this season, where we're like, all right, now these characters are really going to get activated. And regardless of whether or not the behind the scenes like course correction is like going to be the case for season 2, that's kind of how I feel about this, where we're like, all right, all of the characters that we know and love are back. This is kind of the episode 0 declaration of intent. Get ready to see all of the things that you know this character to be, because now all of this has returned.
And I think that's a lot of Disney Plus shows. Is like, all
Yeah,
right,
you know-
now we're ready.
So this is the part of it where I feel like that. So in the 90s, Jack in the Box had an E. coli scare.
Sure.
Jack
Okay.
I don't remember
Yeah.
this one. I remember
You guys
the
were
remember the
babies.
Chipotle one, but
You guys
not
were
Jack in the Box.
you guys
man,
were
the Chipotle one was
babies. Like
crazy.
Jack in the Box had
They never recovered.
it was a E. coli scare of some. Look at this up.
This is in 92 and 93.
Yeah. So like for a long time, when I saw Jack in the Box, because they didn't have Jack in the Box in Louisiana, right?
Mm.
But for a long time, when I saw Jack in the Box, I thought you died eating the burgers. Like you
just
died.
thought that.
Like that's what I thought. Like you remember, you looking it up right now?
Yeah, it was in 1992 and 93.
So there was an E. coli scare, and then so like later on, they put a Jack in the Box right on the corner of Burbank and Gardere, and one of my friends went and was like, "Hey yo, that Jack in the Box is fucking hidden."
Oh man.
I'm like, "For real?" It's like, "Yeah." Like we didn't have in Louisiana. That Jack in the Box is fucking hidden. Like that shit is actually really good. So I go there and I decide, you know what? I'm gonna give Jack in the Box a chance as its own burger.
Right.
I'm not gonna think about 1992. I'm not gonna think about the E. coli. Is this Jack in the Box working for me?
Right.
At some point, we gotta do that with the Disney Plus stuff.
For sure.
We do. And the only reason why I say that is because we gotta eat the new burger. And the only reason why I say it is because this. When you say that, like, now the fight really begins, every show is like that.
No.
Every show is like that. Every
certain type of show is like that.
Every show that is a massive good versus evil show gets you to a point to where it's been development. Now these characters are really ready to go to war. I can name you that episode in Ozark. I can name you that episode in The Sopranos. I can name you that episode in The Sopranos. Legitimately, the war between New York and Jersey was the least compelling part of it. The build up to the war, where Tony has literally gone to the mattresses. He's got the big AK-47 with him at the end. They're like, okay, now it's time to start fighting. We've had enough of it, right?
Right.
So that is nothing new. What I'm saying here is, to get to that point, a couple of things had to happen, in my opinion. One, you needed fully formed allegiances and points of view, which I thought this episode did. Number two, the city had to be primed for it. They legitimately cut the lights back off at this point. So the city had to be primed. It had to be prime real estate for this war to happen. And the city is under martial law, right? And then number three, you had to have the players on the chessboard back in a position to make their stand or their strike, right? So the fact that it's actually just happening now, or the fact that we've just gotten to the point to where it makes sense, is just a function of storytelling.
I think part of that is also just the production of the show, right? It's hard to do that when you got to like go back after the first 6 episodes and retool and rejigger the entire operation, right? And so you find a way. I mean, if we really think about it, in my head, it's probably like season 0.5 of Daredevil, right? Because of everything they had to go through. You need, to Van's point, you got to have everybody on two sides of the aisle. So then whenever the next season comes out, they can get to it. Right?
Well, but here's the thing. I push back on that because it's like, when we talk about Last of Us or we talk about Andor, most of our conversation isn't like, wait, how did they get to this point? Wait, when is this character coming back? Because you're so invested in the story and the choices that people are making make enough sense where like you trust the hands at play. For this, I was like, there was a level of, by the time the big reveal was the Freeports, I was like,
well, I don't know if there was a big reveal. Charles, by the way, they are killing Last of Us. Like people, people like.
But I wouldn't even say that though.
But people are not enjoying some of the things that The Last of Us.
But I wouldn't even say that though. I think for that, but Last of Us and Star Wars, you mentioned, we know who the bad guys are, right? We know it's the Empire, and we know it's the zombies and the Fireflies and all that stuff. We know where the two sides are. For this show, you gotta have all right, cool, Kingpin and Daredevil, but it's not as solidified until the end. Whereas when you go into Star Wars, you know the Empire are the ops. You go into Last of Us, you know the zombies and the Fireflies are the ops. So you don't have to do a lot of legwork.
That's not a problem where it's like this entire season there has been, because my complaint is who Matt is fighting is kind of so nebulous where it's like we don't get really a mention of Muse. Muse might as well have not been in the whole fucking series. Didn't really matter. The Vigilante Task Force, by the time they revealed who killed Hector Ayala, I'm like, we didn't get enough time with that. I don't even know that character's name. So it was a level of, I'm like, when Matt's protecting him, I'm like, I don't know why really this guy's motivated to be in the task force. I don't really have any backstory for it. It's just like they're a bunch of jobbers. And then it's like, all right, and now Kingpin has a white suit on, but I know who Kingpin is. So I just do think that the show had a really tough time investing me in villains that weren't Kingpin. And I just think that is a failing of the show.
And you know what the crazy thing is like, so when I look at the Vigilante Task Force, I don't look at them as individuals. I do look at them as, And so I'll tell you, I think the Vigilante Task Force actually had a very successful arc this season, right? Because they start off as an underground, and they're not supposed to be individual characters. They are like the Tracksuit Mafia.
Yeah.
Right? They're like
Stormtroopers.
Stormtroopers. They're one group, right? So if you look at who it is that the Vigilante Task Force worships, they worship the Punisher. They worship the Punisher because the Punisher colors outside the lines to get at a goal that only he thinks is appropriate, right? The elimination of all people who are bad, no matter what way that you do it.
Mm-hmm.
They are police officers who have had to color inside of lines and are watching, this is only me getting this from the show, and are watching vigilantes color outside the lines, do things that they can't.
Right.
So they are essentially cops who think that their code of policing and being the avenging angels of New York, that they're being held back by a group of people who have a freedom to do stuff, but haven't gone through the things that they need to do to actually wear the mantle for real. So they look up to the Punisher, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So no one, but they have to do it in secret because nobody has given them the go-ahead to be who they want to be. They are being pushed to the bottom. And then you have people like Murdoch who are calling them out. People like Murdoch who are calling them out. People like the vigilantes who are making them feel small. What they want to be is seen and empowered. And Kingpin does that in this episode. He goes, look, no body cams, no laws, no due process, no nothing. Your way is the right way. They think that he's doing that for them, but he's doing it for him. He is the emperor. They are his stormtroopers. They are his goons.
But the show kind of presents the killer of Hector in this last episode like it was a mystery. Like it was just like Matt's like, "Oh, you killed Hector." I'm just like, it even seems like the characters.
But honestly, I don't think that I don't think that it's played like a big deal because I don't think that it is a big deal. I think that Matt has actually moved on past caring about who's killed Hector because really the way Frank even reveals that to him, he goes, "Oh, there's your guy," and then Matt goes, "Oh my God, this guy killed Hector." Matt has not been to the credit of the show. Matt has not been on a 6-episode search for the killer of White Tiger.
But Kirsten in the last episode was just like, you're spinning out. She's like, Hector, you're dealing with Hector, you're dealing with this, you're dealing with that. So like sometimes I'm like, the show to me doesn't know, like, it's not telling me how much Matt really cares about this because I actually think if his partner is being like, I've seen you, and it's like the loss of this man is weighing on you, then I'm going into the finale being like, oh, this is one of the things that's kind of making him break bad. But like Matt's not playing it like that. So that's kind of where my confusion is a little bit, where I'm like, how much does this actually matter? Why are you actually protecting this man from being killed? Well, I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's his thing.
That's Daredevil. It's Daredevil.
Daredevil.
He just what?
He just watched Punisher. He literally was like,
I mean, he didn't
Punisher.
watch.
No.
He didn't watch.
This is the thing. So it's weird. So Matt has and this is the thing that I like about the show, and I'll stop taking up so much oxygen after this. Matt is a human fighter character, right? Mm-hmm. So if Superman's in that room, or even Batman, who has more resources. If Superman's in that room, Superman can kill everybody in one fell swoop and then hold Frank accountable. If Batman's in that room, Batman can do the thing where he is saving a bunch of people and watching Punisher do his thing. The Civil War.
Bucky and Cap.
At the beginning of it. Yeah. Bucky is trying to beat up all of those guys. Yeah. And Cap is superpowered, so he can both save them.
He's catching them off the
He's catching them off the thing. He's jumping around. Bucky ain't even trying to kill nobody. Cap just wants to make sure he can't do it. Matt legitimately can't do that.
He can't do two things almost like
he's
that.
He's a human being, and he's shot. So he has to save his life, and then when he can, he has to keep an eye on Frank. Frank's just killing people. So when when he can stop Frank from killing somebody, He does. So like
or at
when
least try.
when he can stop him from doing it, when he's like, oh, this is the guy, he does. But he literally, this character sometimes is about litigating the limits of what a guy like him can actually do. And in that situation, before, him like stopping Frank means that the vigilante task force runs a train on his corpse. Yeah. So he legitimately can't do it, but when he can, he does, and that's like to me the whole thing about Daredevil. My bad, Jomi.
No, you're good. You're good. I think, I mean, to kind of like move on a little bit, I think the big, not a big thing, but something that I think we haven't touched on yet was about the task force. Is that scene kind of near the middle? I imagine when they shoot that guy outside. The looting, right? They shoot him. He's like, yo, he's just a kid. And then they put the mask down. And he's like, he's not a kid. He's a vigilante.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo.
Now, how does that not work for you? That's
Frank. Blow him up, bro.
But the deal is that's what they've always wanted to do.
Yes.
Yeah. Like what they've always wanted to do is not have to worry about any laws, any rules, anything.
Yeah.
And just when they see a threat or when they see somebody doing something wrong,
shoot first. Ask questions.
Eliminate them. They've taken the Punisher's ethos, and they've mutated it.
They've bastardized it.
And it hits like alarmingly close to home and close to reality, which was like this is a very like conscious and like great thing that I think the show was very aware of, even from the start. Like, what?
You pandering.
You want to talk about pandering? You want to talk about?
You don't think that's?
Yeah, go ahead. Give it to us, Steve. Give it to us.
No, I'm done.
Steve, Patrice Cullors. Give it like give us the. Come on, tell us about it, Steve. Tell us about. Steve, do it now. Okay,
I did it.
Selma, Steve. No, that's not. You've only half done it.
Right.
We need the full context of what it's like being a black man in America and dealing with the police.
So let me tell you about.
Jesus Christ!
Come on!
No, but I think this like the show became very like conscious about the fact that like you know the idea that cops can distort that level of power no matter what like tyrant gives it to them.
Yeah, word up.
To use like this. All right.
No, I'm actually agreeing. Okay. I gave him shit, but he's right.
Right.
Yeah. I gave him shit, but he's right. I'm fucking right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that scene. That's again. I mean, to his point, it was something that's like it's too real, and it speaks to why when Frank goes down to get the vigilante task force out of here, kind of like, hey man, Matt might need to sit this one out, brother. Like, yeah, let him cook, you know. And it's it's one of those scenes where you understand what they're trying to do in terms of the task force and why going forward. It's going to be,
and it's not even heavy-handed. It works completely like correctly with the narrative of the show.
I wouldn't say heavy-handed. It's just like right there.
No. But I mean heavy-handed in the way we're like, oh boy, here they go preaching the yada yada, and like it's not a. Oh wow,
that's what he thinks.
Polar Springs, we carried a lot of fucking water this episode. That shit sucked.
You know what's funny is like we're not.
I think it sucked.
Like it is. So to me, it worked. Like I legitimately thought it was a great finale. Like, the only reason why I say I'm carrying water is because, how can I put it? This is what I'll say. And everybody's going to be so pissed. Like, Van is on Mickey Mouse's dick.
Because you the Glaze Sheriff now. I'm
the Glaze Sheriff. Yeah.
The Glaze
you
General.
Are the Glaze Sheriff.
You're the Glaze General.
That was the Glaze of the week.
It was the Glaze of the week. I could maybe I'm the Glaze
I feel like there's a little glazing going on.
I don't think so, though. And the only reason why I say it is because, look, we all talked about like our bars and stuff like this.
Sure.
So number one, I don't need more character development between Matt and Punisher.
That's fair.
I don't need any more. Okay. Like I know, like for example, if we're watching Captain America 4 or whatever, and Steve and Anthony Mackie, Steve and Sam Wilson, if they see each other. I don't need to know anything else about their backstory. I don't need to know nothing more. I don't need them to recontextualize their relationship. I don't need anything. Mm-hmm. They are going to meet each other where they see each other, and then they are going to have reactions to who the person is, but they're going to fall back into it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't need anything else. I don't need to. If Punisher would have come in, they could have actually not had the Punisher scene in the. They probably should have cut that scene.
Which one?
The earlier Punisher scene.
Oh, from like episode 4?
If you're going to cut either Punisher scene, you cut that. If the Punisher would have dropped into this this situation right here, sight unseen, nothing. We had never seen the Punisher before. It would have worked just fine.
Interesting.
But to me, the Punisher in this episode is like, when he goes to take out the task force, that's what, like, when I talk about like development, I'm more so talking about if I got.
I was talking about in that situation right there, specifically between Matt and Frank, which was a criticism. It just doesn't make any sense, in my opinion, with respect, to criticize that because the characters have so much screen time together.
For sure.
And they're so knowledgeable about who each other is. When they meet each other, Matt's gonna be like, it's kind of good to see you, but I don't want your kind of help. That's their relationship.
No, but I get that. What I'm then asking for is, there is an entire the NYPD has co-opted the Punisher's skull, is doing all this shit. If I haven't seen Punisher in real world time, last time we saw him was 5-6 years ago in his own series, I think.
You're talking about before this.
Okay, the Punisher series, I think, was the last time we saw him. And then we only see him in episode 4 and he pops up. The way he's moving, all the relationships, I'm like, I get the like stencil of all this shit. But me as a viewer, I am like, what has Punisher been doing while all of them have been running around? Why does it only take one person to be like, you should care, and then he goes off and does something?
I mean, to be fair, that is a pretty good person to tell him that he should care. Because of how emotionally
he's not going to kill the police.
I mean, he did.
He killed the police after they broke bad.
They had already broken bad.
Depends on how you look at it, right? So
he might not have known that they killed Hector.
He did know that they killed Hector. It's ultimately like the call to adventure. Right?
But he was keeping tabs on them. Am I wrong?
No, this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is him, like, they are in the thing trying to kill Daredevil.
Yes.
Right? And he's been asked to go in there, and now he's not killing police officers anymore because they're not police officers anymore. Right?
But they weren't police officers. But I was totally reading, I think it was episode 4 when he came in. I had gotten the sense that he knew about the Vigilante Task Force. He had been keeping tabs on them, but he was kind of like washed out in terms of just like he didn't really have a reason to fight, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, to be fair,
maybe I'm confused.
We meet him in episode 4. They're like, hey, they're co-opting your little thing. It's like, that don't matter. It's not really a real thing. Because we didn't get the Vigilante Task Force until episode 5?
Yeah, they weren't even formed yet.
Until 5.
They were like a group of cops, like, that were almost like
a little
just acting out on their own.
They were a little central, but they weren't called the Vigilante Task Force.
No.
But there had already been like this secret cabal of NYPD officers that were taking matters into their own hands.
Yes, right.
Is what I understood.
Hector. Yeah.
And then throughout all this time, the thing that the show I don't think did a great job doing was like, slowly but surely they're becoming more and more corrupt. Obviously, they dipped the dude's hand in the fryer. They're taking their responsibility for the Mew shit. Yeah. I guess all I was wondering is I'm just like, Punisher was kind of acting like an idiot, where I'm just like, the Punisher is a hothead. He's like loose with like the rules and everything, but he's smart. Like when he goes on a killing spree, he has a purpose. He knows what he's doing. He's good at his job. And this was like a time where I'm like, this Punisher isn't operating like he is like a force to be reckoned with, good at his job.
And that's maybe where he's just at.
Well, sometimes he does just flash out now.
Yeah, and he was living in like a basement.
I mean, and also,
if you telling me,
I'm not saying that. I'm not. Look, I don't even understand. I'm gonna be honest with you. My biggest nitpick of the episode is, I don't understand what the purpose of getting him caught. That's just to set up their Punisher movie.
Yeah.
Like,
he didn't have to get caught.
Him getting caught and then him to get out.
Wait to see Swordsman in the cage as well.
Because really, they should. My biggest nitpick about the episode is they're so brutal, but they didn't kill those guys. They should have just killed those guys, right?
Yeah.
They've killed so many. Like, if you realize Punisher's not going to be on your team, then you should just kill him.
Yeah. He's too dangerous and left alive. Yeah.
Right. So what I'm interested in knowing why
he's left alive.
Why they left those guys alive?
Because even like, why would you kill Matt and then save the Punisher would be my question, because I'm just like, they both dangerous. You know what I mean?
Right. So, I mean, I think that the cops not killing Punisher is different than Kingpin not killing him.
No, but Kingpin I thought Kingpin and Vanessa walked by.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm making a distinction. The Vigilante Task Force not killing him, I mean, that's like Kobe killing Jordan, right? Like, you're going to try to see if he's going to play basketball first, right? So, like, them not killing him is different than Kingpin not killing them. Them not killing him is like, all right, they offered him, like, join us, Luke. And then he says no, but maybe they still want to keep him around in hopes that he'll change his mind, or he's too much of a symbol for to be killed.
Yeah.
Or maybe they want to see what Kingpin wants to do with him. Kingpin not killing him doesn't make a lot of sense to me because he's just going to fuck your shit up.
Yeah.
But even Swordsman, but all of those people that are in there, I want to know why they're keeping them alive. I really do.
I mean, they can use Swordsman's bread, right? He's got a
That's
lot
what
of
I'm
money.
saying.
Sure.
Maybe there's a reason that they're trying to break them.
Well,
But I don't want to know why he's keeping them alive.
Can I also just be like, for real, while we're in the jail, if you've watched any movies,
Don't
where
put
he's
your
like,
hand in
hey,
there.
yo, you from Jersey? I'm from Jersey. Then he's like, let me shake your hand. I'm like,
Come on.
bro, you know.
He don't know
I was
better.
like, what's
No.
You don't know better.
Glazing. This is why you can't glaze. He was glazing Punisher. He was glazing.
It'll
Punisher
get you killed. Glazing will get you killed.
Punisher looked at him and was like, "Oh yeah, that's an eater right there."
That's it.
That's
That's
an
food.
eater.
He said that's food.
That's he's like that's.
I was like, oh,
Free.
he bat his eyes. He's like, oh, I'm from
Bruh.
Jersey. I could
Y'all.
tell.
That's
I'm
crazy.
like,
Bruh,
yeah.
y'all.
It's weird seeing
what
him
Bill-
charisma his way around something.
That's what Trump did to Bill Maher, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all.
Wow.
That's what Trump did to Bill Maher. Trump looked at
Christ.
Bill Maher. Trump was like, "Oh shit, look at them lips. That's an eater."
Oh my
Come
God.
over here, brother. Let me tell you about.
God.
No,
Let me tell you about that. That's what he did. And like he looked at him, he was like, "Yeah." He said, "Come out, shake your hand, you dumb bitch." Like, what the fuck is going on? What you thought? You thought he was gonna shake your hand?
And take a selfie with you or
Yeah,
something?
you dumb
Christ.
bitch.
Also, this man just killed all your homies, what, a half hour earlier?
Yeah.
He's like, but I'm the one that
I'm
he's been
special.
waiting to
I'm
meet.
special. Yeah.
Come on.
That's how them women be acting. I
Again,
apologize.
Oh, no.
Japan?
Well, I thought you were talking about women.
That's how they. But I'm saying is like I'm gonna be the one to change him. Think about like the fourth chick that get pregnant by Future. At some point, you gotta take responsibility. All right, never mind. I apologize.
Man.
but
You should have told Andy
Anthony Edwards once again. But look, that's working out for them though. Well, actually, you know what? It's working out for them because it is working out.
Is it?
Yeah, it's working out.
I mean, all right.
I mean, you don't think it's working out?
So
for the women?
Daredevil didn't go to the
Money.
I
Freeport
apologize.
because
I'm
Daredevil
sorry,
was
my
like,
bad, Aleya.
there's too many bodies, there's too many people. Punisher should have taken that same note. Punisher's like, nah, I got it. I'm gonna solo all these guys. It didn't really work out. Karen looked at him and was like, yo, dog, you can't do this by yourself.
But
Karen said a
healthy.
Punisher. I'm like,
But
Karen.
he went there for a reason. Maybe Punisher and Matt should have gone together. But he went there for a reason. Daredevil thought about doing it, but then he didn't do it.
Yeah. So ultimately, like, who would you rather have in a fight, Punisher or Daredevil? If Daredevil is not gonna make it out of there solo alive, then there's no chance of Punisher. making it
Karen
happen.
needed to sit both her men down and be like, hey, yo, play nice. Y'all gonna go to the Freeport together and then fuck some shit up.
Let's talk about the return of Karen.
Yeah.
I thought it was a triumphant return. I missed her. I was happy to see her.
I don't know what kind of flight
Yeah,
she took, but
did she drive there?
You know, she took a flight. It was a quick flight, but she got there. Ultimately.
Wait, because she in, where was she?
San Francisco.
Wait, so she was in San Francisco.
She took the Concorde. That's the
Yeah,
fast
yeah.
jet.
So
yeah. Nah.
Matt got shot the previous day, right?
She got on a plane.
Got on a plane.
She got on the plane.
She got on a plane.
She called.
What if she was just lying and was just living in
transit.
Jersey?
She was
Maybe,
in
and that's
transit.
another thing.
She
She
was
might
lying.
have. She might have been like, okay,
Nightcrawler exists in MCU now. Just bam, right to New York.
You know,
Well, Nightcrawler has to see where he's.
Yeah, but he just bamfed across the country.
or she took a Stark jet of some sort.
Yeah,
a repulsor jet.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying? Like, or to his point, she wasn't really in San Francisco.
Oh, she was around the corner.
She was
Y'all
just in
know
Jersey.
girls that said they moved away just to get away. I know a girl that did that.
She lied
So-
and said she would move
Didn't do
away.
it to me. I was like, Crystal, I thought you moved back to Houston. She was like, I didn't move back to Houston. But like Jeremy will not stop calling me. Okay. I live in Gonzales. I'm like, nigga, Gonzales is like 5 miles away. He gonna find you.
He gonna find you.
He gonna find you. It's insane.
And it's so funny. That really happened. And then it's so funny when I could never look at Jeremy the same. Because I looked at it, I was like, Jeremy was like, yeah, you trying to come over and play Madden? I was like, hey, bro, leave Crystal alone. He was like, what? I was like, my bad. I didn't-
Out of context.
Yeah, out of
no way.
context. Out of context. I was like, leave her alone. Don't say nothing to her. And then we get over there, we playing the Madden. He go, yeah, you seen Crystal? I'm like, nah, I ain't seen her, bro. She live in Houston. Anyway.
Wait, he over there.
Yeah.
Please don't tell me this woman's gone.
Crystal, yeah, Crystal.
Put Crystal shit up.
Now Jeremy gonna find her now.
Nigga, this was 2003. Plus,
He probably
She's still living in Houston
plus
now?
we niggas, after that, we stopped fucking with Jeremy. He's like, Jeremy, you were weird. Like, I didn't know that she stopped fucking with him because of that. Like, I really didn't. I thought that they was just regular shit.
Yeah,
She moved to Gonzalez,
that's scary.
and Gonzalez is more than 5 miles away. She moved to Gonzalez. I'm like, we can't fuck with this nigga. Like, he got somebody running from him. That was fucked up too, because that nigga was nice on the game. Anyway, but we stopped fucking with him.
Well, this has not been your greatest show since Sierra Gate. It is. You've been doubling down.
I'll just be honest with y'all. I don't know what y'all want to take from that story. We stopped fucking with the nigga. We all got together as a crew.
But you
And
like, he was good at the game. Good on the game on the sticks. Like,
You don't have to do that.
Well, look, but see, here's the thing for me. It would be easy if we never liked the nigga. Then it would be
Right.
easy to not fuck with him.
So,
right?
but you had to resign to the fact that you're just like, hey,
But
you
it
can't
was-
do
Oh
this.
man, he's
Cool.
weird to women, but man, he good at the game. It's tough. I don't know.
Wait a second,
he a
though.
weirdo,
But,
but
look,
this is not
but
really
see,
a hard decision.
This shows me why everything is going wrong. I'm telling you right now
Why
that
you
we did
always-
the right thing. Because I'm saying, like, we liked him, but then we found out that there was actively a girl that we know that he used to fuck with that was not, that like had said that moved out of the city
Because he was weird. Yeah.
because he was weird, right? And so once we learned that, because I was like, I'll say, hey, leave Crystal alone, and then I'm not gonna name no more names. It's like, hey, what do you mean by that? I'm like, this is funny. It's like, what do you mean by that? I'm like, bro, I seen Crystal, and she said that she actually is not in Houston. She's in Gonzalez because she running from Jeremy, because Jeremy, whatever. My nigga goes, well, obviously he can't come over to play Madden. Then.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
And he was like, man, did you? It's like, obviously. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I was like, obviously, you can't come over to play Madden. And then, somebody brought it up, and then they ended up fighting and all of this stuff. And then he became
they ended up
All right.
fighting.
Yeah, they had to fight. So
Did they have to fight?
well, this is what happened.
All
so
right.
we was going someplace,
Okay.
and he wanted to ride. And it was like, no, you can't ride.
It's like,
And then it came to
They
a
had
head.
to, yeah. Why can't
Then
I ride?
then it came to a head. And so then that starts the I don't like you thing. And in Baton Rouge, if you don't like somebody, you have to fight them. There's no
What?
Yeah. In Baton Rouge, if you say, man, I don't like that nigga, that means y'all about to fight.
Mm.
Cause like
people can't just like not like each other in peace.
No. It's a thing. Everybody want to fight, put their hands on them. And like once it was known that we because we only knew her through him.
Okay.
And so he felt like we were just being haters.
Mm.
But we honestly thought it was weird that someone
Yeah.
moved away.
And then
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
it absolutely
And
is.
so my guys never wanted to be around that type of thing.
Right.
Ever. My guys, Ian, Gino, Trey, Ryan, Bryant, we never wanted to be around that type of thing. Because it was niggas like that. Some niggas that have gone on to be quite successful. It was niggas like that. But we never wanted to be around them. So we was like, it's over. Like, we don't want to hang out with him. But I do remember that we liked him. That's all I was saying.
Sure, before you knew that.
Before we knew that, we liked him.
I was just
Okay.
saying it was weird. You could have just said he a weirdo, but he was good at Madden. That's the part. That's the part where I'm like, you didn't have to add
Shame.
the last
It's a
thing.
shame.
Didn't have to have that.
I just want to give
Full
the context.
Sure.
All right.
Well,
of
you know
what
what?
happened.
I want to give the listeners a break. Let's go to commercial real quick, and when we're back,
This nigga's so good at that.
we'll talk
Bro.
more.
we probably should talk more about Karen because she was in a large party episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, large part.
Triumphant return. I love seeing Karen again. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think, I know I have not honored her enough. Maybe wasn't my favorite part of the Netflix series. But
Definitely not.
sometimes the old shit comes
Absence
back.
makes the heart grow fonder,
It
man.
do, because she came back and I'm like, hell yeah. This is the show.
It was actually
Now it's the good stuff.
It was insane how much better this episode was with her and Punisher around. It was crazy. Matt actually talking to somebody. He's got like solid chemistry with Heather. I won't deny that. But it was different with Karen, man. It was different when they're looking through the files and they go out avocados at law. I don't know what that is. I'm almost like, that's what it means,
Can you
man.
be- can you be
It
my
means something
eyes,
to me,
Karen?
man. Come on, dog. Like that's what the show was missing.
Yeah,
the whole time.
Is Matt a little bit of a creeper though? Because once he started being like, yeah, I was listening to y'all heartbeat, I was like, all right.
I mean, she
Well,
didn't
he
get
was
phased by
telling
it.
women what they had for breakfast that morning.
Yeah.
He's not.
It's
Karen-
getting a little, he's a
Nah,
little bit of a weirdo.
But Karen knows the deal. That's why she was just like, I knew you were. You know, she's like, game's the game.
Here's the
Player.
thing: I would crash out if I roll up and I hear her heart skip a beat once Punisher starts talking. I'll be like,
Oh, I'm popping alt.
You pop it off?
I'm popping my alt right
Pop it
now.
off is crazy.
Hold on.
I was thinking
Wait.
about that real quick though. When he was going crazy, I literally was at my couch. I was like, Judge, jury, executioner.
Hold on a second. You gonna crash? You a Jeremy? You like y'all some Jeremys?
I'm not a Jeremy.
Wait. You gonna so her heart beats for another man? You gonna crash out? What do crash out mean, Jeremy? You
I said I
how many
might
women have
crash
you
out.
sent to Gonzalez? This is a new thing. You can't be a Jeremy. And by the way, nigga, if you know I'm talking about you, I don't give a fuck. But I don't give a fuck.
Well, first of all, I don't have super fucking hearing, so it's just not
That is
happening.
true.
Right.
But you know
That'll
what?
break your heart.
In
That's-
that room when they're talking, to that point, you just get the feeling that they have a strained love affair. There's a chemistry and a connection.
There's like
and she's confident.
Yes.
And
And
and that Karen character, shout out to Deborah Kroll, that Karen character, Noel.
Deborah Ann Wool.
Deborah Ann Wool.
Shout out to Deborah Ann Wool, man. Baby
She's amazing.
vampire, True Blood. Deborah Ann Wool. That character has come so far because she is totally confident, totally capable. She actually is a step ahead of Matt.
Yeah.
And Punisher. It was great to see her back, and the show has been missing her.
The groove that the show hits when both him and Karen and like rest in peace Foggy, but like the fact that the three of them were bouncing off of each other for as quickly as it was, they're like, oh man, we have something. Like, why would you ever like let this go away? Like this is all that we've ever wanted, to see the three of these people bounce off of each other. It's exactly what the show needed at the end of a finale, because like you kind of actually like breathed a sigh of relief. Like she was a sight for sore eyes in a show that was like really missing something, and then it definitely was her.
And this is why when you're like, man, the episode, I'm like, dog, maybe you're right. Maybe all your complaints about this episode are correct. But for me, I'm watching the show with Matt, with the Punisher, with Karen. I'm like, it's just nice to see these people on screen interacting again. We spent like 7 episodes with strangers, dog. Matt only talking to the same people. Like they don't exist outside of Matt's purview. They just like once he stops seeing them, they don't exist, right? And to see like these characters that we know have their own lives outside of Matt and have them bouncing around again was just like, brother, where was this?
Yeah, but here's the thing,
time, man.
I end up judging shit based on, I'm like, if we got 8 hours and the 7 hours were rocky to get there, by the end, I still was like, hey man, it might have been a fine episode. It wasn't terrible. It was like a fine episode, but I'm like, I remember those 7 hours. It wasn't as enjoyable as it needed to
You
be.
know what's funny is maybe. So the N-word, we know what the N-word is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Steve, what is the N-word?
Oh,
Say it.
Come on.
Say it. It's my birthday. I give you permission.
it's your
birthday.
Well, what happened to No Race?
That's
race.
out. I'm taking my shirt off.
Not on this podcast?
No. Higher Learning Live show. My shirt will be off.
Okay.
Oh wow,
probably
it's already
oiled-
sold out.
I probably oiled up. Yeah, we sold out.
Oiled up?
Yeah, we
Oiled
sold out.
what?
We sold out in less than a day.
Hell yeah,
What
nice.
the fuck, Gramercy Theater, bitch. I done sold out the Gramercy Theater. Fuck you, ho. Now, there's one N-word called nigger,
Yes.
and there's one called knitter.
Okay.
A nitpicker.
Nitpicker.
Knitter. I want to.
like
Isn't
Such
that
a
what they
decay.
was doing on Arthur?
Arthur. He's a
Knitter.
knitter.
What y'all talking about?
There was an episode of Arthur where they said,
Oh, hell nah. They
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
with y'all. That's y'all generation. Y'all let them
Yeah.
fuck with y'all like that?
they did
What
say
knitter
that.
That's
mean?
canon.
Yeah,
Literally, show.
Hey, okay, well then give me a drop of that.
I got it.
'Cause
I got it.
Yeah. Why? What does
I
a
think
knitter
it was
mean
like-
in their language?
Mine own eyes depart ye old yarn yurt with a pink woolen thread most shameful.
It's not pink. It's fuchsia. He's a knitter.
Oh, bro. Bro, hey, bro. On some real shit. That's not okay, dog. No, I'm being totally for real. Like, hold on, wait. All jokes aside, let me. Hold on for a second.
It's a great show.
No, bro. I'm 45 years old. Like it's like, bro, on some real shit. That's not okay. That's some writers.
They're trying to pull off some slick
Wait a
shit.
minute. Steve, yes. That's some writers somewhere. Look up the writers of this show. That's I'm being for. I'm like, bro. I'm so serious right now. Like, I'm so serious.
It's the
right
way
now.
that they made a
Bro,
song out of it.
bro, no, fuck that shit, dog. Hold on, I'm being so serious. There's some writers. Pull up the writers of this bitch.
Don't put the writers on, please.
Bro. It's some. I'm telling you, bro. I don't like shit like that. The writers of that show is somewhere. They fucking around.
God.
They high. They trying to say the N word, and they put it in the children's show. That's not okay. Nigga, I'm so fucking dead ass right now. Like, that's not okay. I'm gonna put that in higher learning. I'm gonna put that in higher learning tomorrow. Actually, no, I can't because it's gotta live on the Midnight Boys. But that I never seen that before. Why they say it? Knitter. Okay.
They really meant it.
All right. And y'all wonder why niggas like Chet Hanks grow up and they start saying shit.
A lot of things make sense now.
Shout out to my nigga Chet.
Wait, why are you? Don't give a shout out to my nigga Chet,
That's
bro.
my guy. I fuck with Chet heavy. I've been knowing Chet. Look, like, man. Hey, Chet, I'm proud of all your success. Everybody go watch Running Point on Netflix, right? Like, niggas not perfect, but they still fun to hang out with.
That's actually a bar.
Are they good at Madden too? Are they?
All right, Steve got his lick back. All right, I'll see you.
Oh my God.
Hell yeah.
Gotta give it up. Nothing like a callback burn. But yeah, so I felt like okay. So
Your nitpick.
I'm a knitter.
you're a knitter, but we're all knitters. But we're gonna put knitter in the pantheon
Okay.
Right.
of midnight of quarter flipping because look, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The MCU is about to go on a run. I got a feeling that there are gonna be some quarter flips in here pretty soon. I'm looking at the Thunderbolts plot. There's probably gonna be some quarter flipping in there. Okay,
Probably.
We gotta. I need to know what happened to my girl Taskmaster.
dog.
Just kind of
Taskmaster. They got some shit to answer
They
for.
be
with
photoshopping
Taskmaster.
her out of airbrushing. They like, don't worry about it.
Not in no trailers. Not she only on a poster. That's it.
Bruh,
Only
they
on a
are-
Wheaties box.
They are treating Taskmaster like a side bitch on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Like I'm serious. Like Taskmaster is just out of the whole thing.
And Taskmaster's so cool.
Not
Why do
that
they-
Taskmaster.
Not
Not that
the
Taskmaster.
idea.
That's
of
Also,
Taskmaster.
here's the thing, not to relitigate, but it's like, all right, Taskmaster, we know who he is in the comics. He's a smart ass. He talking, he's bullshitting. Why would they be like, you know what we should do? Deadpool and
That would-
X-Men Wolverine's origins. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
Make you know what like
Yeah, just like make a mindless killer assassin type situation. Yeah.
Maybe
Rest
that's
of
what
us
they're
great.
doing. Maybe they when we get there, it's
Wait,
gonna be
but so-
some
but you said-
wisecracking.
but you're saying MCU about to go on a run.
I think they're going to run. I think that, that was unintelligible. I think they're going to go on a run. I do think that there's going to be some quarter flipping, so we need to bring the old jargon back. So just to let you guys know, for this summer, if the boys want, quarter flipping will be back. Transgressions will be back.
Yeah.
It's Midnight Classic Summer, okay? Because
Mhm.
we're back in the Marvel realm now,
Right.
And it's a big time for Marvel. So we're back in the
Yes.
superhero realm.
That's right, Ironheart, baby.
Ironheart.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, just to let y'all know, we gonna judge Ironheart the way the show deserves to be judged. Okay, if we don't have you guys,
Wait. What happened? What happened to positivity? What happened
it's
to letting the shows be the shows? You acting like this shit gonna be mid already.
No. I'm just letting people know that they're gonna be able to come to us for accurate thoughts on the show.
No, I
Yes.
support all my black sisters out there, you know. So
You finna lie?
there will be no negativity on the show. I
There you
wanna
go.
see
We love that.
my-
No
my
dinner.
queens win.
Karen, I will say one thing that the Karen character did expose on the finale. Jay-Z infamously told Dame Dash something. I heard somebody, shout out to Dame. I heard somebody say that they made Hov. Okay, make another Hov. right? I gotta say, that nigga Jay-Z is an asshole. That's such a devastating line. That's such a devastating line. Okay, cool. You made me. All right, make another one. That's such a devastating line.
That's a good one.
This show failed to make another Karen.
Yeah.
That's why Karen
Came
coming back feels so awesome.
Yes.
I don't know if Heather was supposed to be Karen. I don't know if they wanted to make another Karen.
Or
Kirsten,
just-
I don't know if they wanted to make another
Cherry.
Cherry, but they could not make another Karen. They could not get us interested in a character to the degree and to the level that we're interested in Karen with her relationship with Matt, with her own ability to do stuff. Because remember, when she comes back in this episode, she's making shit happen. She's handling stuff.
Yeah.
She's putting Punisher on the board.
Mhm.
She's advising Matt. She's taking Matt off the board. She's really reorganizing Daredevil in an energetic way and getting him back
And
into
get
the
somebody
She's
else,
pointing him in a direction.
somebody else can help drive the action. Where it's like, I think
Exactly
what
right.
was hard with this season is like, it almost felt like the foggy mystery, not mystery, like was in the beginning of the season, totally forgotten about, and comes out in the end of the season. And the minute they are searching through file boxes, reminiscing, talking, you're like, oh, there's another character here who, to your point, is capable, smart, can argue with Matt, can push against him. And we haven't, like, Cherry tried to do it, Kirsten tried to do it, but they didn't have enough historical
There's
background.
no cachet there, yeah.
Yeah, to be like, when Karen says some shit, you're like, oh, she knows Matt. I see, like, everything I, as a character, have been feeling, she gets to say, because she knows him and she's capable. And I was like, that's, I guess this season, this finale felt like to me, where it's like, that last shot was just a terrible shot to me to end on. And I'm not even talking about artistically, just narratively. When he walks out of Josie's and he sees all of his like comrades in arms or whatever, I'm like, the only person in that room that I give a fuck about is Karen.
Yeah.
Everybody else.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. They should have probably left that out.
Yeah.
Because when he says we need an army, we could have ended on Fisk. We know that he needs an army. They could have just let us wonder. They just could have just let us wonder who he was going to come up with.
It is kind of tough because again, it's like, you know, I'm assembling a team. You're like, oh, you finna,
like,
you know
oh,
what
man.
I mean? To your guys' point, you guys are like, the defenders are going to show up. All this, I was like, that's not the budget. When you do that and you have that shot, you think, oh, we finna see so and so.
You couldn't have gone
I'll
to
put money
Harlem.
on it for season 2. I
They
would
were-
put
they were-
money on it for
They're
season
absolutely
2.
going to do it. That's what I said at the beginning. They're definitely going to do it for season 2. For this one, you probably leave that out just so people don't get excited and leave Phil.
I need a whole scene in the new season where Luke Cage and Jessica Jones show up, where Daredevil's like, hey, yo, where y'all been?
He's like, we were having sex for 10 years straight.
Now he would.
You know what it reminds me
Claire
of?
Temple.
Oh,
Which movie was it? The end? Was it the end of? No, it was the end of Ultron when they introduced the new Avengers. And I was like, I don't know, man.
Scarlet Witch has got it.
I was like,
It was Scarlet Witch, Vision,
Falcon, Cap, and then I think that's it. And Black
War
Widow.
Machine.
War Machine. I was like, I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I was like, hopefully.
And this is gonna sound so bad, but when I went to Disney Plus last night, and I was like, I clicked on the Marvel tab, and it was the first time I've been paying attention in a while, and they have the banner of all the heroes.
Oh,
and
that banner's looking.
And I was like, yo, this banner's looking hella weak. It was Captain Marvel, Loki, Shuri, Captain Falcon.
Let's pull it up right now. Let's see who they got on that banner.
It didn't look like the strongest banner.
Well,
who's on the banner, Steve?
Let me see. They got to do like the whole sizzle
Have
thing.
you seen it lately?
I don't think I've seen it.
It's the.
Let them see. It's
all right.
No, that's a play-in championship right there.
That's the Atlanta Hawks.
no, that's a mid-season
That's
championship.
the
Wait
Atlanta
a
Hawks.
second. Put that bitch back up.
Yeah,
That's the Atlanta Hawks right there.
They dead ass gotta be fucking with it. I'm like, let me tell you why.
Oh my god!
Because some of these niggas not even around no more. We ain't seen Nick Fury in years.
You haven't seen Shang-Chi in years.
Shang-Chi hadn't been around since we was still coughing. Like I'm just saying, bro. They dead ass gotta be playing. Or to switch it around again. Or they just straight up. These are the Avengers
I don't know about that. I think
Nah,
man,
Scarlet Witch been a DMP for how long?
She say she don't even want to be in it no more.
Sam, oh my god! I mean, Sam, we like Sam.
Brie Larson, I don't
mess
think
with
she
Sam.
ever suiting back up.
No.
Oh man, Yelena, we like Yelena. But when was the last time she got us a bucket? You know what I mean? It's looking it's a little grim.
Sure he's out there?
You say playing, man. This might not even be like
it's a
it's a lottery
mid-season
team.
championship. Yeah.
Chuck
Midnight Meter.
All right, guys. Time for the Midnight Meter. Proprietary midnight technology. 1 to 10. 1 being low, 10 being high, 11, 12 reserved for game changers. We're going to start. Jomi, Steve, Van. Jomi, where are you going?
I gotta go to 7. I think for me, it's kind of like a Jeff Fisher team where you start off rocky, man. You start off 1-6, 1-7, but then you rattle off a couple, and like toward the end, you kind of see the vision. But at the end of the day, you're still 8-8. Like you finish 500, but the way you started, it is tough. So I gotta go to 7. I think that's the right one.
Since we don't do half numbers, I'm going to have to go 7 as well. Yeah, it's hard. It teeters between a 6 and a 7. It ends quite strong, and I look on the season favorably because there were great moments that we had interspersed between like a little bit of messiness, but I think that I'm still looking forward to season 2. And I like that this feels like a very good jumping off point for where we can see these characters go farther. I like the fact that we're still exploring this.
I want to give it an 8 so bad. I just can't.
You can't do it.
Right? I can't. I want to give it an 8 so bad. I thought this episode was great. I thought the last episode was great. That probably tells me the trajectory of the show that's going in, but it is a clear-cut 7 to me. Clear-cut 7.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
there's no. You always do this like there's a bunch of drama. Give it a 3.
It's like weighing on your soul.
It
is. Why?
It is weighing on my soul. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer.
There's no Charles.
Fuck it. If this is what Disney Plus wants to do when Daredevil's born again, they should have kept that nigga dead. I'm giving it a 5.
There you go.
Okay. All right. I honestly, better than I thought you'd give it.
Not bad.
5. I mean, 5 is what it is.
You said it's a 500 team. This is
It's a 500.
It's a
500 team. Jomi, in your opinion, how many games above 500? Like, what's the mark of a good winning percentage? 575, 600?
Probably like 650, 700.
So we're gonna start also judging these things like that. Is it a winning team? Is it a winning season or not? 575, 600.
If we're going to be honest, I think you would have to say that this would be a disappointing season because, you had to, basically, they fired the coach and the general manager. You know what I'm saying?
You had to like retool in the middle of the season.
Nuggets.
Yes. You're the Nuggets, pretty much.
It's like when you bring somebody in to just like, all right, we're going to hold it down for the next like 6 weeks of the season. And let's just get out of here. If we get to 500, we got to 500. Cool. We might make the playoffs. We might not, depending on other results in the league. But as long as we're not a losing team, we'll take it.
Who's the Russell Westbrook of this? What was the moment in this show where such a bad game? They were like, we firing everyone. We starting over. What was the moment?
I like Russ.
I don't want to say it because I don't want to say it.
I fuck with Russ.
It might.
Shout out Russ.
Is the White Tiger stuff the Westbrook?
Oh, shit.
That's nasty work.
Y'all niggas getting really, really insulting. I was saying fuck Jeremy, but Russell Westbrook is a Hall of Famer.
Nobody said he wasn't.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I say
Is he getting a ring? Is Westbrook getting a ring in his life?
Probably
Is Westbrook
not.
getting a ring in his life?
Yeah, well, no. So
Okay.
Probably not.
what difference do that make though?
I'm just curious.
Niggas are you a part of rings culture?
No.
Yeah, you look like you a rings culture ass nigga biracial still. That's a wrap. Came out way too hard.
You did. You came out blasted.
That's
So
crazy.
anyway, I just started blasting.
That's wild.
So anyway, I just blasted. Have you seen Mr. Society?
Yeah.
Okay. So at the end of Mr. Society, Kane says one of the funniest lines ever. So Kane is dead now. So he's speaking on us from the hereafter.
Right.
And these niggas then just toe Kane ass up. Right? these niggas and just put some on Kane ass. And Kane, it's like he's talking from heaven and he's like, damn. I didn't know them niggas was gonna come back like that.
Wow.
Blasting. We was in the theater, and Kane is dead at this point. Poor Sharif, rest in peace. And we laughing. That nigga like, he dead. I didn't know them niggas was gonna come back like that.
Yeah.
Blasted. Told that nigga ass up. Talking that dumbass shit. All right. This week on the Reconverse feed, it's not funny what happened to Kane. Tomorrow, Mutton Bash. Tomorrow, Button Mash breaks down The Last of Us. The show?
Yes.
Friday, the Midnight Boys react to Sinner. Our producers are Aleya, one of the strongest women I know. Zenieris.
You always starting shit.
I'm telling you, as much as I've talked to people, I don't know people with as crystallized a point of view as Aleya. I always have
Aleya start blasting.
a conversation with her. Jonathan, protector of the sandwiches, Kermah.
Protector of the sandwiches. Come on, man.
Jomi, hashtag good at Madden.
I'm actually bad at Madden.
Good at Madden Jomi on socials. Additional production from our Arjuna Ramgopal. That's enough out of Daredevil, but Chuck's got something to say before we go. Take us out.
Oh, wait, I'm taking this out? Oh,
Yeah.
That's
The thing you do every show.
Guys, it's been a fucking long week. They have us in here every goddamn day, all right? We're giving them content. What? That's what we do.
You're saying it like you're doing it under duress.
Like on a slave ship. Well, man, you on the cotton fields or some shit, man. They got you.
I'm having fun, but
It's the hot Alabama sun, man. And you gotta.
Can you imagine we just picking content?
Oh my God! That nigga said, we give him content. What are you talking about?
Nigga just got off the ship out of
Oh,
Jamestown,
my
bro.
Lord.
God damn.
Just put the content in the bag, bro.
Put the content in the bag. Knitter! Bro, that's not crazy to y'all? I'm sorry,
crazy.
bro. All right. Chuck, take us out.
We missed you, Karen. The show just wasn't the same. And if you a weirdo in the crew, you better be good at some games.
I would be age-wise your sister's. I would be your young uncle.
Yes, it's supposed to
Right,
be.
right.
That's how it normally works. With the internet now, anybody who's older than you, anybody who
Anybody
born,
who doesn't
It used
get
to be
this
40 and
reference
up was
is-
Unk. And then OG.
Has Unk replaced OK Boomer type of?
basically.
Okay.
Oh,
Right?
Hold on,
Well, black
hold on,
people
hold
were
on,
never
hold on,
saying.
hold on. See, that's what I'm saying. This is the problem.
No, but I'm talking about on the internet.
But first of all, wait a second though. We don't give a fuck about that OK Boomer shit.
I understand.
Unk is a term of endearment inside of the Black Negro diaspora. Okay,
Okay.
so it doesn't have anything to do with OK Boomer. You call somebody Unk, that's basically saying, "Hey man, how are you? You're older, and I like it." Auntie, same thing.
No, auntie, because here's the thing. If you call like a woman that's like
This
below
happened.
the age of 35 auntie, she gonna be like,
This happened. I'm not gonna get into it because I'm gonna get in trouble.
Right.
But I had a lady that didn't like that, and then they got mad at her. It happened on the old podcast, but I'm not gonna get into it.
how old was she?
I'm not talking about
Okay.
it
Not talking about it.
because this is somebody that can. You know about it. You know. I told you this story.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's right.
But this is
That's
somebody
right,
who
that's
can
right.
turn your lights on and turn your lights off.
Oh God.
So I'll tell y'all off camera. But OG, I have a very strong stance on.
Okay.
There is no age for OG. OG
Oh, yeah?
is a title that has to be earned.
Cross generational.
It's
Pure stats.
you could be 60 years old and not reach the level of OG
Yeah.
because you just don't have the requisite wisdom to be an OG. You could be 65 or you could be 35 and be a true OG to somebody that's like 17 or 18.
Yeah, but you
But
can't
it
be
is-
in your early 20s You can't call an early man in his early 20s OG. I'm like,
If
I mean, you
If
could,
he put you on,
but
if you that man in his early 20s could be an OG. I'm writing a movie about this. That man in his early 20s could be an OG, like in training. Like, let's say he's 21 and you like 9 or 10.
Okay.
You gonna say he's been my OG since I was 9.
But this is a mentor-mentee type of relationship.
That's the only thing that OG means to me.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
OG means like your OG is somebody that's gotta be able to set you straight and give you wisdom. Unc.
That's just an
Unc
old
is
guy.
just,
That's some guy.
that's a guy, an older guy, and you're saying, hey, Unc. It's like an Unc. I'm definitely Unc.
Sure.
I might be OG to a couple of people, but I'm also probably not to the OG levels that I need to be on.
Yeah, you got to get some capital in that G.
Yeah. I need some to do some other stuff to be OG. Why? What do you think is Unc, Chuck?
I think Unc used to be like 40 and up.
Used
And now
to be.
it's like,
Now we're
I'm
in our
Unc.
30s. And
when a woman calls me Unc, I'm like, shit.
Who
She's
called
like,
you
you
Unc?
old
That
ass.
was disrespectful. She was disrespectful.
that was crazy.
But you know what
That's-
she was doing though? She was running game on you because she wants to make love.
I don't believe that.
I don't
actually.
know.
I don't
I
think
would
that-
need
She
full
called
context.
Charles Unc to trigger him. Because there's different types of. Did we talk about negging?
You talk about
Charles
negging.
Charles
Yeah.
is negging Charles.
But the young kids, they be naked. That's how they be flirting. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't like this, yo.
I wonder, Aleya, Kerm, do you guys neg when you're courting?
You take
You guys
that.
neggers.
You guys
Yeah, I'm
neggers?
gonna leave this one to Kerm.
I could tell Kerm don't neg. Kerm,
What's the
poets
question?
don't neg. Kerm be writing poetry and,
Giving flowers.
and all that. Kerm don't neg. Kerm is a good guy. Oh, did I tell you what Kerm did?
What?
Okay, real quick. And then, because I know this is all post credits. So,
He's like,
for people who don't know, the amazing facility staff here at Spotify, I'm going to shout out Heather. They do a lot
We're
of.
not doing this. You're not gonna lie and
They-
make it seem like I did this.
Can we turn
You
Kerm's
did
mic
this.
off, please?
Silence to the black man is crazy.
Can we turn Kerm's mic off, please?
I'll
Appreciate it.
do that, you know.
So they provide things for us.
Right.
You see, we all have coffees and there's different snacks and all that stuff. But they also have these great sandwiches. You guys have had the sandwiches.
Yeah.
Delicious.
I go in there this morning. No sandwiches.
They were out. They only had chorizo and vegan left.
Damn.
Chorizo and vegan.
Okay, so there were some sandwiches, but not the ideal sandwich.
Are you eating a vegan sandwich?
You know what I'm
No.
saying? Like,
Then
what's
what's
the point of you? We have to talk about why
I
you feel the
just want to
why
know
you
why
lying
you
and
say
saying
that there weren't
Why
sandwiches.
not eating it? Like,
That
what
was
is this?
negging.
Like,
We know what he means.
Like,
the
what-
good sandwiches were gone.
Okay.
what is this pedantic thing that you've been doing? Like, why do you do that?
Because it's a little bit of fun that I have.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so there were wax sandwiches left, right? When there used to be like a full cupboard of the sandwiches in a little heating thing.
Bacon and eggs,
Bacon
sausage,
and eggs,
all,
sausage,
yeah.
all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? Wednesday is a very busy day here, so we go. I'll go there. It's no sandwiches. Like they got there's some sandwiches, fucking Steve.
Yes.
But okay. And so I go back over there, and brother at the barista bar, very nice guy, says that the construction workers hit the sandwiches hard. That morning, the construction workers came in and
Cleared out.
cleared out a lot of the sandwiches. They're doing some construction around here at Spotify. And let's be honest, it's not their sandwiches. I'm just gonna be keeping it real. It's not their sandwiches. It's not.
Right.
It's our sandwich.
All right, Tariff Timmy. Like now the fucking working man can't get some sandwiches. This crazy.
Anyway. Kerm was enraged by them taking the sandwiches.
Incensed.
I'm sure, yeah.
Heather, one of the ladies that runs Kerm goes over to her and he says to her, he goes, "Hey, we appreciate everything you're doing. You're doing a great job. Everything's going well. But I want to let you know,
However,
I don't think it's fair that the construction guys
Not as trifling.
he didn't do that. He never
It's
said
trifling.
that.
take away
Kerm,
all the
Kerm, is
sandwiches."
this true?
Kerm, no, I'm standing.
Is this true, Kerm?
10 toes. Kerm never said that.
You know damn well that this wasn't me. Everything he said that Kerm did, Van did. End of story.
never do that. Don't do my man's like that.
All right, before we get to the pod, one more thing we have to address.
Sandwich fucking justice.
Sandwich.
One thing we have to
Sandwich.
address.
They gotta come to the sandwiches like 9:45, 10.
This also
cool.
happened around the sandwiches. So, this is Spotify. So we had some queens that are coming through, some music legends. Haim was here getting their coffee.
Oh, when?
Right?
Right just now.
Those are my friends.
Oh wow.
We all love hot, but now,
Danielle was there?
yeah, all three of them.
Where they at?
At the
At
coffee
He
shit.
was there.
Oh, man. Those are yeah.
Jomi, I said this. Jomi starts packing up his shit. I'm like, yo, where are you going, Jomi? We got to start potty. He's like, nah, I got to go. I got to go checking on my girls. I'm like, Jomi,
I had to check in with my homies.
the milk merchant allegations need to be beat.
He went
They made
pew
great
out of
music.
the studio.
They made great music.
And what'd you say?
I walked over, you know what I'm saying? I saw Estee, you know what I'm saying? We smiled at each other, man. Made my day. That's my favorite one, too.
That's all it takes. I want you back.
They made great music, man.
I want you back. I got to I let you. Just said I want you back. I'm like,
Y'all hating with it. Good music.
And then
great.
that led to Steve giving one of the biggest revelations that we've ever had on this podcast or pre-pod. Steve has a great grandfather who is black. Did not know this.
3 times great. So I don't know what
3 times great. He was
Yeah.
black.
Did Steve say the N-word?
No.
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 I can't really. Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
at that hair. You can't.
Because, although Hardenstein for the he says it.
You saw that video?
Yeah, Hardenstein says it. I don't think Hardenstein should be saying the N-word.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure his dad's black.
His dad is half black.
Yeah.
That's not enough.
Jomi told me that our girl Haley Steinfeld's black and
Well,
Filipino.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is. That's a big part of the. We'll talk about it.
Oh. Say we got to say this for the Sinners Pod.
It's a big
Save
part
it
of
for
we'll
the
talk
Sinners
about
Pod.
it. We'll talk about it.
Right,
Yeah, it's a big part of the.
Mm.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
It's called
But
a tease.
I could tell it with her.
She was laughing a little too hard at MBJ. I'm like,
Thick ass, man. Okay, let's go.
What's wrong with you?
What's
wrong with you, man?
Hold on, wait.
That's not
Aleya, I'm
right.
sorry.
What's wrong with you, man?
Aleya, I'm
Hey, we're
sorry.
not talking about women. It's
I'm sorry.
happening.
All right, let's go. Let's go. That's all post credits. All right.
Jesus Christ.